What's up, everybody? Welcome back. This is Forgo, and you guys might notice that today I'm going to be speaking very softly. All right, I feel great, my health feels really good, but my voice is still very, very bad. But as long as I speak softly, I can actually talk to you guys and explain what I'm doing and what I actually think about this character, Akuma, who is godly. The first thing I just want to say is that thank you to all of you guys. Thank you so much for all the support, the love. I really, really appreciate it. All of your complimentary comments, trying to give me some helpful tips as far as trying to get my voice better. Thank you so much. And I also want to thank Netmarble for giving us this guy right here and the Street Fighter characters. Nobody thought that in Kofa's we would get all of these characters. It really is awesome, guys, that we are able to get this guy. And he really is a beast. He is just phenomenal. Just an amazing character. I mean, honestly, like in multiple game modes in this game, he's going to be a top tier character, just nut T. So let's take a look at his kit and talk about him a little bit. So Akuma's leadership gives an increased attack type fighter attack by 40% and critical rate by 10%. This is really good because whenever you're doing a lot of critical hits, especially for attack type fighters, you're going to do more damage because you're doing more critical hits. He is an EX character, which unfortunately the only way to get EX character is just to pull him in the banner. But hopefully in the future we'll get EX memories to where we can actually level this character further up if you only have him at 1 star, or maybe you just only got the character. Now, he is a cost 70 character, purple attack, which is actually really good because you do need a purple attack team for a Reviving Hell's Dungeon, which I'll show you guys a run. It's just absolutely nuts with this guy later on. But also you just need regular purple teams, and he's actually really godly for just multiple RHDs, but I'll talk about that in another video. So in his core effects, he's got, 30% PG rate. The increased damage on a critical hit is just godly. And this is another reason why his leadership is so good, because this is going to be proccing even more often. The extra critical rate is nice. The darkness attack damage is very, very good. And then he has reflect, fear, and burn, which is just nutty, especially for characters that have fear. Some of our meta characters have fear, and the fact that he can reflect it, like, it's more or less he's just immune to it. And then he has a 50% chance to apply fear to all enemies on the screen for that 0.5 seconds upon landing a skill. Nutty. 20% chance to decrease the cooldown of Sekia Gosha by 100% for 3 seconds upon landing a skill. This is his first skill, and this does burn damage. So what it means is, he has burn explosion built in his core by 5.5 times, and whenever he does the first skill repeatedly, he can do that burn explosion over and over and over because it's only on a 1 second cooldown. Really awesome stuff. Now, he does have an immunity core, which is really nice when he gets down to 30% or less on a 10-second cooldown. So every other 6 seconds, he's going to have this cooldown, this immunity up, which will help his survivability. And then he has the shield. Now, I've actually reevaluated this shield because it's actually much better than what I actually originally thought. Yes, in most PvE game modes, it's not very good because it won't apply, it won't take effect. But in Absolute War and RHD, even guys, even in Reviving Hell's Dungeon, this shield will pop up, which actually gives Akuma way more survivability in a game mode where you can actually acquire a lot of experience bottles for this character. It's pretty nuts, guys, and it also works in League Match. It won't work in Guild Raid, it won't work in the Immortal Dungeons, it won't work against Spider Robot, and it won't work against Chapter of Fight. But the fact that it can work against RHG actually will be a big advantage to you. But again, guys, I'll talk about that in another video. But this shield's actually much better than what you actually think. It only gets removed by taking 6 critical hits. Again, I'll focus on that in another video. Now, Akuma has a huge 50% attack buff on his first skill, and then he applies Infernal Flame for 12 seconds. Once he does the explosion, this will actually get removed, but again, this skill resets itself. So he can apply burn immediately after, guys, and last for 12 seconds. So he actually has the better of both. He has like the burn explosion, and the burn will get removed, but he can also apply burn for a long time. This is, again, very good for all game modes, especially Reviving Hell's Dungeon. He has hyper armor on his second skill that has a chance to remove hyper armor and shield. Again, major meta effect. It's also an interrupt skill, just nutty. And he now has another increased attack by 60%. So he has 110% increase to attack. He has burn explosion. He has increased target damage received by 35%. And then on his third skill, whenever he does the Hyake Goshin, when attacking targets that don't activate his skill, deals darkness damage equal to 550% of attack for every 0.15 seconds for 1 second. It's really nutty, guys, that they combined so many meta effects in one character, and then his default actually increases target damage received by 15%. And I'm going to show you guys how you might want to use that maybe in guild raid to try to get a better score. And then he has a fear striker effect. Now, my Akuma is at A3. He does have max capsules. He's got 101,500 CP, which is pretty crazy. And as far as your imprint stones, guys, you actually could give Akuma just like burn stones. I do have these stones here, but the only reason I equip these darkness stones on him is because I don't have any burn stones. If I had some burn, I would pop them on him, but unfortunately I don't. This is just HP. I would rather have attack. So I just decided to go with this so I could give him 5 stones, try to represent his power a little bit more. But if you have just like, if you do, if for whatever reason you don't get the Street Fighter stones, you could always use just like these burn stones that apply to purples. Like, see if I can find one like this one here, except make sure this says attack type. So here we have the right stone: increase attack, increase your burn damage, and increase attack type fighter. This is the stone that you really would want to put on the sky if you're not able to get these Street Fighter stones. And again, guys, I really think that if you go with burn, it would be better off. I might do a test later on to where maybe I can try to switch up some burn stones for the moon and star shape and switch them with the darkness to see what actually does do more damage. But I believe burn's going to actually be the best choice. And this is pretty cool. The free rush dungeon set that actually does increase burn damage is optimal for Akuma. So yeah, I mean, he is a character that you have to pull in a banner, but you can get his best set for free in the Rush Dungeon right now during the Street Fighter collaboration, which is pretty nutty, guys. Now, I do have his option card, but I actually find that when it comes to spamming skills and running through an entire guild raid run, I actually do more damage whenever I don't use his option card. I don't know why that is, but I just seem to do more damage. If you're just using him like for just the immediate explosion, then this would actually be better. But I need to do some further testing to really figure that out. And then he has a level 10 affinity. So the first thing we're going to do, guys, is we're going to jump into guild raid, and I'll show you what he can do against Ryu. Whoops, almost clicked on Colossal there. He's actually godly for Colossal as well. But we'll jump in here. We got Akuma. Let's see what happens. Now, he doesn't really have any lasting dot effect unless we don't do the burn explosion on the first skill. His third skill will apply darkness, but it's only going to last for about 1 second. Unless we continuously spam our skills, then it will stay applied. Okay. Nice, very good. Okay. And we'll just run through our skills. I know it's weird that I talk so softly, guys. Let's do it. I probably should have hit his default because I think that would have been actually better because we actually get the increased target damage received. But it's all good. We broke the meter. He does a lot of hits on his 3PG, which is awesome. And the Raging Demon 3PG is just awesome. Whoops. And right there we have the burn applied from the first skill. We exploded first time, but then the second time we applied it, now our burn's actually lasting. So we just broke the meter, which is pretty cool. So if you time things right with Akuma, you can do some pretty nutty damage with this guy. It sucks that first skill didn't reset. Bummer. I want to try to apply burn. Okay, so we're going to do this number. I mean, when he hits that third skill, the amount of dot that's being applied is just nutty. Come on. See, this isn't the greatest because we didn't have any burn applied. It actually got removed. So we're not going to break the meter this time, unfortunately. And Ryu's probably going to go into a super. Yeah, figured he would. Gotta love that linger in Hyoken. Or Hadoken, sorry. There we go. I think we got the burn applied. Yeah, we have it applied, so we'll break that meter. Hmm, not bad. I always hate it when Ryu does like two supers in a row. Nice. It always sucks too whenever you like you're almost about ready to break Ryu's meter and then he goes into a super. Very, very annoying. So like this darkness is only going to stay applied for about, 1 second. I do wish it lasted a little longer, but maybe he would be way more overpowered than what he is. Because he is one strong, strong character. Nice, that's awesome. We'll go ahead and do our default here. Oh, I love it. I mean, not bad, right? Not bad. I mean, in this game mode, really lasting dots are going to really benefit you very a lot. But 2 billion is an awesome score for this character. And I want to show you guys something really quick before I go any further because I think some of you might be curious as to whether or not I actually leveled up his EX core. And the answer is no, I didn't. The runs that you're going to see, I didn't level up any of these things at all. I still got the 30 points. I haven't done any of it. So I could have easily jacked up his attack. I could have jacked up his penetration. And really, if you're doing this, you really want to level up the Sakia Gosha and the Hyakeishu skills the most because this is where your darkness and this is where your burn is at. And then the second skill last. So these two maxed out. And then this middle one is going to be your last resort. And he does have an interesting EX core where I mean, this is pretty wild, guys. The third skill actually decreases by 100% for 3 seconds upon use. So he could actually repeatedly do this third skill over and over and over again with his first skill. That is crazy, guys. Like if the meter was broken and that was up, you could do some pretty nutty damage with that thing. And that's just something I wanted to point out and show you guys because I know some of you are probably wondering, did I have this leveled up? No, I didn't. I didn't have it leveled up at all because I really wanted to show you guys just how strong he was. I almost wish I wouldn't have leveled him up so much because then you could have seen how good he really can be. But in Guild Raid, guys, he's really, really strong. Now, a caveat to the character in Guild Raid is the fact that he doesn't have the dots that you actually need, say for Inferno, where we can actually get SS and BS memories, right? A very valued resource in this game. You need chill and shock, but luckily, Ryu has shock and both Chun-Li's have chill. So in the run that I'm going to show you guys, you could use either version of Chun-Li if you want. I'm actually using a complete Street Fighter team. I got Bison for a striker for Ryu. I got the Nostalgia Chun-Li for Chun-Li here. And then I have Luke with Akuma to decrease the skill cooldown by 1 second. Now, we're going to be doing most of our damage with Akuma. We're just using Ryu and Chun-Li really to break the shield because we want to apply that shock and chill all at once. So I'll go ahead and bring it up for you guys and you can check this out. This is pretty wild, guys. I might skip along through this because this is a pretty long run, but you'll get the drift of what I'm doing. So what I do is I start off with a 3, 2, 1, apply shock, because if you do the second skill from Ryu, you'll actually do shock explosion. After you do the shock 3, 2, 1, then you switch to Chun-Li and you want to go 3, 2, 1 again, because again, she has explosion on her second skill, but she has chill on her first. So you want to end on the chill explosion, or on the chill from the first skill. So literally with Chun-Li and Ryu, you're just going 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, right? And you'll break the meter super fast, as you guys saw, and then you bring in Akuma and you just start plowing up the damage, guys. And every other time that you bring in Akuma, you're going to do his default, and then you'll do his 3PG. So we're just doing the 3PG for Ryu right here because we're just trying to stall the timer so that way our tag cooldown is ready to go again as far as having all of our strikers. I mean, really, I don't need to do this. Actually, in hindsight, I got so used to using strikers all the time that Really for this run, I don't need them, guys. I don't need them. I get shock from Ryu, and I'm getting chill from Chun-Li. So actually now in hindsight, I'm thinking that I could have got a lot more damage because I could have literally just, went through these characters over and over and over. Maybe I could have done better, to be honest, right? So there you saw me just spamming Akuma, right? Well, after that, I'll use Ryu's 3PG, then I'll apply shock. And by the way, something else you'll notice is before I use Ryu's 3PG, I'll do the explosion. So I'll go 3, 1, 2, because I don't want to have shock applied while I'm doing my 3PG. The reason for that is it'll start breaking the meter, and honestly, guys, if I do it that way, Chun-Li will break that meter even faster. And then my big damage dealer, Akuma, won't be able to do as much damage because the meter will already be broken before I bring him in. You want to, I always say this in these guild raid runs, whoever your damage dealer is, you want to have that meter just about ready to break right when you bring them in. That way you get all of the damage from your main damage dealer all at once. So I'm really just trying to showcase Akuma in this run and show that, like how much damage he actually does on his own. And if I had that EX core board unlocked, we would do even more damage, guys. We would do even better. Like our score would go up tremendously. It would, especially because of the explosion that he has. The increase of darkness is just nutty on the sky. The increased target damage received that he has. This really isn't too difficult of a run to do, in all fairness, guys. It does take a little practice because you need to get used to, using Ryu, like using the 3-1-3-2-1 in the first rotation, and then 3-1-2 or 3-2-3-3-1-2 in the second rotation. I get confused myself when I'm actually talking about it. But what it is, before you go into your 3PG, do your dot explosion after you do the first skill. Before you bring in Chun-Li, just go 3, 2, 1 so you can apply the shock. Oh yeah, and as you guys can see, it works out super, super well, no problem. Like right now, we don't have shock applied because I don't want it applied. I don't want to break that meter down. Now we applied shock because we ended on the first skill. Then we brought in Chun-Li. We did 3, 2, 1, ended on the chill. And now we have chill and shock all at once. And this is something that Netmarble did purposely as far as the Street Fighter characters are concerned. They set them up to where you can actually just use this team for some serious OP damage, guys. Just nutty. Alright guys, so I'm just going to go ahead and speed this up a little bit. Just to go to the end because this is going to be pretty damn long. But you guys go get the drift of how strong Akuma actually is. Here we go. Nice. I mean, 3 billion, guys. 3 billion. And if I leveled up that core, this dude would hit 4 billion. I guarantee it. He would hit 4 billion at A3 on my account with a fame system of level 10, or level 11, I'm sorry, which is pretty amazing, guys. That is pretty damn strong. Nutty, nutty power. Godly character. Just insane. And super awesome to play, very, very fun, and unique amongst other characters. I mean, almost 3.3 billion. That's a pretty damn good score. That's a pretty crazy score for this character to do. Just insanity. And like I said, if I had that EX core board unlocked, he would do even more damage. Now, let me show you something like what I showed you guys with Chun-Li, right? And that is in Reviving Hell's Dungeon. I'm putting a lot of focus in this game mode because this is where we actually get a lot of experience battles, guys. And as you guys can see, I'm at tier 70. I've been busting my hump trying to get all the way up here, and it has required some crazy gameplay, a lot of time. It just, honestly, it really sucked pushing it this high. As you guys can see, I've already cleared this first stage, and you need a purple team for this. Now, something that people don't realize about Reviving Hell's Dungeon is that they go by Awaken levels in this game mode, right? So right here it says apply team penalty if the team average Awaken level is lower than 7D, okay? So what that means is that whenever you have a team that is below level 70, like say these guys are here, level 30, level 40, level 30, like their average Awaken level between all three of them is around, what, 35, something like that, right? And you need 70. which means they're going to have a huge penalty and they're not going to be able to do jack for damage, guys. They're not going to be able to do anything for damage. This game mode doesn't really go by CP per se or combat power. It goes by Awaken levels. And for each of these stages, you need a required element to be able to do it. And sometimes you need required typing in elements. You'll need like a purple attack team. You'll need a red defensive team, and so on and so on. Or you'll just need a red team or a blue team or a green team, and so on and so on and so on. Okay. And the thing about Akuma is because he has all that explosion, right? Because he has that insanity as far as explosion, this team that I'm going to show you guys was actually able to get it done. I actually could have used this team right here, but I didn't. And there's a reason for that. But I'm going to back up a little bit here. See if I can find my team. I used this team to clear this stage, which is nutty, my friends. And even though we have 2 level 50 characters, right, and a level 30 character, which is an average Awaken level of, say, 40, somewhere around there, we are way below what is recommended. But because this guy right here does so much damage, because he has dot explosion, he can absolutely murder this thing, guys. I mean, my Eileen here, this is an older character from the Seven Knights collaboration, and I was actually running this set on her, right? Just to apply dot, right? Just to give her a bunch of dot, right? Her CP is only at 81,000. Well, I say only. I know for some of you that's a lot, but really on account like mine where I can get over 200,000 on, say, Rugal, it doesn't really appear to be that much, right? She has 3 imprint stones on her, okay? And Orochi here has 2 stones on him. He has the Merlin set. And if you don't have the Merlin, you could easily run the Akane set on this guy. But this guy also has the crazy dot explosion, right? I know we're kind of focusing on Akuma, but I really do want to point this out. This is a very, very good character, especially for newer players to pick up because of this. And because I got 2 characters with dot explosion, it's just nutty the amount of damage you do. And then I got nothing but dot strikers, okay? Nothing but dot strikers. Bison doing poison to all enemies on the screen for 10 seconds. Luke to apply starlight to all enemies on the screen for 10 seconds. And then Mary to apply shock to all enemies for 10 seconds. Having all that dot really does help as far as doing optimal damage in reviving Hell's Dungeon. But here is the run, guys. And I'll show you how I queued it up, right? Now, what I mainly try to do is I try to keep Akuma, or my main dot exploding dealer, I try to use them as little as possible. You'll notice that the majority of the time that I do this, I'm going to be doing a lot of 3PGs, a lot of defaults, and I'm going to be using Eileen and Orochi a tremendous amount, trying to stall the timer and just doing a lot of damage with a bunch of dot that's being applied from all of our strikers, okay? I'll probably end up making a separate video about RHD, and I'm just trying to explain what I'm doing here and how I was able to do this, right? I mean, guys, you could use Leona, Orochi, and Akuma on this team easily. I mean, it's just nutty. Now, this run, I mean, guys, and this is, by the way, this is something that, like, is very annoying. RHD takes a long, long time. These runs are like an eternity. And then you got to do a bunch of these runs before you get to the boss. And, oh, my God, it really sucks, guys. It's a real pain in the butt. But it's well worth it because you're going to get a lot of experience bottles. That is going to help you so much. I mean, yeah. I just bring in Akuma every once in a while to do some dot explosion, right? Just to kill them as fast as possible. And I try to use that one skill over and over and over. And again, if I had a ZX core board unlocked, I could do his 3rd skill over and over and over. You could have the darkness and the burn explosion all at the same time. And it's going to be nutty, guys. You're going to do it's just a lot of crazy damage. You can see there is a set pattern. I always bring in my strikers to always apply dot. I mean, we're still in the first part of this phase in RHD. I mean, it's definitely not easy. I mean, granted, this only took me 1 try, but a lot of times when I do this, it does take me a few tries in order to get it done, for sure. And that's having the right color, right? Whenever you're not using the right color and you're doing some cheekiness in RHD, then it really becomes a hassle. But I'll talk about that in another video, guys, and I'll show you just how amazing multiple Street Fighter characters are for this. Just like whether they're a striker or whether you're using them as a damage dealer in here, They really are nuts. Oh, it's honestly pretty cool that Eileen's still very useful here, because she actually has dot on her default, which is pretty lit, right? It makes a difference, man. The more dot you can apply, the better. And if you have dot explosion, the better as well. If you're doing dot explosion and you have a dot applied all at the same time, a separate dot, for example, if you're using Akuma and you're doing burn explosion, but you have like darkness applied or shock, well, he's not going to remove the shock or darkness, but he's still going to be doing dot explosion from his burn. Like the combination just does an insanity amount of damage. So you can actually push these high levels of reviving Hell's Dungeon so that you can get all of these rewards, guys, right? And you see that I truly am just focusing on Orochi and Eileen. I'm really trying to keep those characters in there. Most of the time, I don't want to use Akuma. He's got 43 seconds left on his timer. I want to make sure I got plenty of time so I can spam his skills at the very end so that way we can murder this level. Tier 70, guys. Tier 70. Crazy. All right? You see me just hitting that first skill over and over and over, applying as much burn explosion as I can. And then we have the lasting dot from burn. This is another thing about Akuma that's just awesome, man. Getting that lasting dot, like if the burn explosion doesn't remove it, it's just nutty. This burns crazy. Like it, man. If I had burn stones on him, like the attack or the moon and star shaped stones, oh my god, it would be so much better. His burn explosion would be so much stronger. Eventually, I do plan on doing that because Akuma's one of my favorite characters, so I might end up doing that. We're finally down to the last part of the phase here, facing these little guys, right? And I'm just trying to keep Orochi and Eileen in there as long as I can so that we can just keep applying dot and make sure that we can use Akuma for the complete spam. Now, you see my timer's at 50 seconds, so I went ahead and brought in Akuma, did a little burn explosion, try to kill these guys as fast as possible. Just nutty. The rework they did, by the way, on Orochi was pretty awesome, guys. He really is so good for this. Even without Akuma, guys, I could do tier 61 with a purple team. No problem. All level 50 characters. Now we're going to switch to Akuma, and we're just going to pour it on. Oh, yeah. Let's get him, get him, get him, get him. And you want that darkness applied. Nice, nice. Right? Not quite, guys. Not quite, right? But we're just going to do our 3 PGs now and try to stall the timer a little bit, right? So that way when we bring in Akuma, we can do explosion again. All right, we'll do Eileen. Okay, there we go. There we go. We just do that first skill over and over and over. This is something that's awesome. Like, even when you're waiting on your cooldowns on your second and third skill, you can still do that first skill over and over and over, just like Ash's third skill. Or BS Ash. That's just nuts. Right? I went ahead and switched to Orochi. We'll do the 3PG. Trying to stall for a little bit more time. And then we'll bring in Akuma here in a little bit. And boom, tier 70 clear with an A3 Akuma and 2 level 50 characters when you actually need level 70 characters for this. Just insanity, my friends. Just insanity. So let's go ahead and do something really quick for you guys. I am trying to go to this pity, trying to get Akuma again. So we'll go ahead and do 2 more pulls, right? I don't know if I'm going to try to get Akuma to A5. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. It really depends if I get lucky. I didn't get lucky here at all. Looks like I didn't get nothing. Unfortunately, I'm just going to skip it. Yeah, we didn't get nothing. Unfortunately, we'll do it one more time, guys. We're almost at pity. It sucks because I actually need like 2 memories in order to A4 Akuma. Yeah. Nada, man. Maybe we'll get a fest for lucky, but no, didn't get nothing. Pretty much got the shaft there at the end, which is unfortunate. But we got 1 more pull. Well, actually 15. Okay. And before we can go to pity, and then I can get another memory for Akuma. And unfortunately, I'll have to go again. I'll have to try to get another memory in order just to A4 the character. So I don't know if I'm going to do that or not. We'll see. But Akuma's godly, guys. He's an amazing character. Just tremendous. And I haven't even showed you guys everything that he's capable of doing. Such a strong character, a massive powerhouse, and I really feel like Netmarble done an amazing job on this character. So let me know what you guys think about Akuma, and I do stream on Twitch at 9 p.m. GMT+7 time. The link is in the description below, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching, y'all. Take care and have a good one. See you, everybody.